I said 2026 was the year I fell in love with historical fiction, and I don't know how I can say this to you guys as you get me. Historical fiction is a baby. You guys should get into it. And one of the books that solidified my love for historical fiction is The Lost Diary of Lucrezia Borgia by Teagues. Hi, I'm Robin. Welcome to Robin Tree Books, and today I'll be discussing The Lost Diary of Lucrezia Borgia by Teagues. I don't know how I just forgot her name. Now let's get into it. So I was reading this book and I finished reading it in the church and I broke down in tears, and I just, like, yes, a message was going on, but the message in the story was reminding me of the Bible, how God loves us in spite of what we do. So it was a very overwhelming reminder of who God is and how I am, and how unworthy and undeserving I am of God's love, but He still decides to be merciful and show me love anyways. Isn't that wonderful? It is. I know. First thing, I think one of the things this book does, it shows the importance of documentation. So people have had this perception of Lucrezia Borgia, and because she had this diary was able to change things. Like, he said, oh, this is what you guys think, but this is what it is. And I imagine if in Africa we had things like that, if we were able to document so many things. Like, I know that some cultures were able to do that, but I mean, imagine if it was an en masse action, that everywhere people were documenting things that were happening to them. Not necessarily everywhere, but to a large extent we had that, but we don't. And it's pretty sad because we have people rewriting our history for us. Like I said, this book talks about the love of God, but I'm going to also talk about the love of man because I'm such a woman. One of the things that I really like in this book was how Lucrezia was loved by her husbands. So she got married to 3 men, and each man, you guys read my lips, all the 3 of them, they loved her, and they loved her so much. You know, there's a way someone would love you and you just, I don't know, like, it was, I was jealous. I'm not going to lie. I know she's dead, long dead and gone, but I was so jealous because I was like, sister, you are so lucky. You not just get married to 1 man, not 2, 3, and they loved you. They were able to make certain decisions for her, even though it wasn't pleasing to them. And even beyond that, you see it's certain actions that they took that they loved her. So the thing is, Lucrezia has been viewed as one of the most devilish female characters in church history because her father was a pope and he was not a good pope at all. He wasn't a good pope at all. So he himself grew up in the lifestyle that he had, and so obviously what was going to become of her? But one thing I would say is, like I said, the love of man. The way she loved her brother, the way she loved her father, it was so beautiful. Like, yeah, something was wrong at the point, but I liked it. Like, I liked the fact that she was able to pay so much loyalty to a human being, and yet at the point it did not even make sense, but I felt like it was something that she just had to do for the plot. Another thing I'll talk about in this book is that as people, we should try not to judge others. I think when we try to focus on becoming better people, we barely have time to judge others. So this is a challenge for me myself, because there's sometimes people who do things, especially when they hurt you, and you're like, what should even be my reaction to this? So sometimes you fall into that. I fall into the habit of judging, and I know I try to stop, and maybe I just have to try harder. Yeah, I have to try harder. I think if you want to feel a reminder of who God is, if you want to feel a reminder of how much God loves the church, how much God loves you as a person, read this book. There is so much love that pours out from this book. It just pours and pours, and it overwhelms you. I don't think this is just a book. I think it's a testament of God's goodness. I know it feels like I'm just talking, but when you read it, you understand what I'm saying. Not to brag, but the review I posted of this book on Medium was seen by another author, and she said, I don't know if she's a Christian, but she was like, she was so moved by the review, she wanted me to review her book. Now that's like not the main thing, but the point is, I loved that book so much that my review was, it was not even touching the meat of the book. You get, like, it wasn't touching the meat, but just the little thing that I was able to highlight from the book was enough to capture someone's attention. Yeah, so I highly recommend this book. I highly recommend this book. I really wish I had a physical copy, but I got mine from NetGalley and now it's no longer available on my phone. Sad, I know. Anyways, we leave for another day. But yeah, that's all for today. Bye. See you in my next video.